Hi, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton. I am the president and CEO of Archimedes Offspring. Yvette, I hope you found us. And I've had a couple of questions in regards to a couple of the other postings I did. And one gentleman asked me, he said, okay, so you talked about what my team should look like. How am I going to pay them? You know, I wish it was as easy as going and picking the money off the money tree in the backyard, but it's not, and it's complicated. So many people will bring a team in and the team does expect to get paid. That was what he goes, I'm putting together a team and they want to be paid. That's a problem. And one of the videos that Ray and I did last week was called Phony Baloney Money. And you can go and find it. So many inventors get forced into startup mode so that you can apply for what we were joking as phony baloney money. All right. You get told, oh, get teed up. You can go and get money from the VCs. No, most of you can't. All right. The VCs are very particular. They want you to have sales. And for most inventors, you don't have the money. All right. So money is the most common problem. It's not the only problem. It's probably the most common problem. Research shows that there are roughly 11 million wannabe inventors out there who don't take the plunge because they don't have the money, they don't have the support at home, they're not sure about the process. But at some point in the process, money is going to give you indigestion big time. All right, so when we say stay away from the phony baloney money, it is thinking, fantasizing about VC funding. All right, like I said, most of you are not in those categories. Independent inventors tend to do consumer gadgets. You know, sometimes we get somebody that does a high tech. That's a whole other ballgame. We're not talking about specific things here. You know, computer games and that type of stuff where the VCs are more interested in getting involved. But for the most part, consumer gadgets, tools, pet products, baby products, home goods, those types of things, right? They're not really considered VC products because you can't tee them up and sell them for multiples of their investment. Besides the fact, you lose control of the project, you lose control of the invention, right? For most inventors, that doesn't work in your favor. All right, the next thing you do is you get forced into startup mode and think that, oh, Lord, if you do this business plan, you can go into a bank and get money. No, they loan it to a successful business. You don't even have a business yet. You haven't made any and sold any. All you are is a liability. Again, you're not going to get money. Trust fund babies, they don't have access to the trust. They're not going to give you any money. Investors, all right, so-called angel investors. When you meet one, let me know. I don't know what to tell you. They're hard to find if there's any out there. They think that they should get too much ownership in it and be able to tell you what to do because they're giving the money, blah, blah, blah. What a pain in the neck. All right, so what are your options? First, find out whether you've got something worth funding, all right? You get an independent search done. You get a patentability opinion, all right? Now you assess what do you need and what do you have. All right, it's what is the invention, all right? What resources do you have to put into it, all right? And how do we take those first steps? So Archimedes Offspring. This is the new mechanism on the block. All right, it is a mentoring program and a funding mechanism so that you're not spending your bank account. You're not taking out a second mortgage on the house. You're not selling your favorite car or motorcycle to fund this thing, right? It gives you the tools now to be able to make good business decisions, all right, and access now to the funds, all right, to help pay for it. So the funds will pay for the patent, the engineering, the prototyping. Now, when we say, where's the money? All right, it doesn't go to your bank account. It goes to a trust account if you go through the vetting process successfully. So when you're looking at the vetting process, all right, there's an application to fill out. I went over some of these today. That's why I got to talk to a vet. And so you go through the vetting process, you fill out the form. you're going to get an independent search done, and you're going to have a patentability opinion done. A lot of the people who are applying have already filed their patents. That's fine. All right. We don't care who you use as long as they're a registered patent attorney. Prefer to have the independent search, not the one done by the patent attorney, but that's okay because we can do some of that vetting ourselves on our side of it. And we go through the process and we start looking. It's like, this one might have this one's got potential. Something that's a really small niche market, maybe not. There's too many other things like it in the marketplace already. Probably not something that we're going to pick to move on to the second phase. But we've got several now that are in the hopper that are moving on to that second phase. And we're looking then at the ability to put $25,000, that's the first tranche of the 75, goes into an account for them to be able to use on their next steps. So that first tranche that we look at usually is intellectual property, maybe reimbursing you for some of the expenses that you've already put into it, some of the early stage engineering. All right. And we get some engineers that are very good at doing their own. And then we get some that's like, give me a coloring book and some crayons and I'll see what I can come up with. All right. Don't stress over it. All right. That first $25,000 is to pay for that. All right. Then we go through and we vet again. All right. What have we accomplished? Did the attorney then, do they feel like there was an issue with how strong the patent was? So we look at that next phase of it and we go through another vetting process. Right. In the meantime, you are learning. All right. You've got a group of people who are mentoring you on the next steps. All right. And they're doing it because they believe in the project. All right. When the investors, then when you're getting the money and the investors are looking for us to protect them, all right, we do that by doing a good job for you. Okay. So then the next step, right? The next step is really that hardcore prototyping, right? And if you didn't spend all the first $25,000, it can roll into the next tranche. You may have something that's more complicated, needs a little bit more money. It may roll into, you go through and we find we've got a really good prototype where everybody's excited about it. And that then is the vetting on the next phase, all right? Where we're gonna look at doing a short run, maybe 1,500 units, depending on what it is, and getting teed up for a trade show. Well, in the process of getting teed up, all right, the money has been paid to the service providers of your choice. No, you don't get to do a boondoggle to China, all right? That is never a good idea. If you want a vacation in China, hire a tour guide, all right? It's not going to be Archimedes Offspring doing that for you. What you're going to do, all right, is work with the team to develop your product. You always maintain control of it, right? But when you're all said and done, you are educated, your product has the very best chance in the marketplace, and your family finances are safely tucked in your bank. So when you're looking at where is the money, you've got Archimedes Offspring in the vetting process, all right? Or you've got phony baloney money over here, all right? Which side of that do you want to swing on? I don't know what to tell you. All right. Rita at Archimedes Offspring is my email address. Info at Archimedes Offspring will get you information. And don't be one of those 11 million inventors out there that's just sitting on an idea because you are afraid to tackle it. Take the first steps. We're there to help you, to mentor you, to support you, and to help pay for the process. All right. Read about it, archimedesoffspring.com. Ask your questions. And for some people, I just answer the question outright, and others spur me on to do another video and take your question live. So I hope that we've kind of answered some of those questions about teams are tough. All right. They expect to get paid. The best, if you can get them to come on free and work until there are royalties down the road, and we've talked on other videos about this. It's really tough when you're dealing with the multiple of 5. You can go back and check some of those videos. The team does expect to get paid eventually. Go with Archimedes Offspring. We've got a better plan. Rita Crompton. Talk to you tomorrow.